Hi guys, Zero here for Meadow, a new game that came out actually as of today, um, October 26, 2016. Now, I want to get this out of the way first and foremost. I know a lot of you are probably looking at the game and hopefully understanding what it's about, but it's not about hunting, it's not about actually surviving, at least not yet. You never know what they might do in the future. It's a nice, relaxing game. Go and explore, as the creators Might and Delight put it. It's a social experiment and a form in games clothing. It's nice. It is meant to get people together and just, be a nice, relaxing experience for everybody. You discover the world, you collect items, you get to know other people. It's just nice, fun, laid back fun. But, as I said, who knows what might come in the future. But as the game stands, it's not for competitive folks, it's not for people looking for the thrill of the hunt. It's more for people who are just casual, they want to just kind of do whatever. Now, to the point of this video. I have been a beta tester for this game for quite a while, and I've got a number of questions about some of the mechanics of the game. So I wanted to make this as a small tutorial video showcasing some of the aspects of the game, or, kind of basic controls and then some of the more trivial mechanisms. To anybody that might be new to the game or hasn't exactly looked into it very much. So for basic controls, let's just get out of this grass patch here. So basic controls, WASD is your typical move, and like do the moonwalk, go forward, turn. So yeah, and as opposed to Shelter 2, if you right click, you get to free move the camera, unlike Shelter 2 where you actually have to move the camera back and forth to move the camera to see where you're going. If you left click, it's getting close. If you left click, you meow. The links up your mews. Every animal has a different sound. So this is important, probably about the almost the most important feature of the game, since you can make sounds to others, you can call out for them if you fall behind, which, if you happen to lag, you might. You can catch their attention if you find treasure while you're heading towards it. It's also important to understand one of the other features in the game that I'll be explaining a little later. For me, it's the wheel button, but if you press the wheel in, you get the scent, which for everybody that has played Shelter 2 or Pause would know very well. It can come in handy if you happen to temporarily lose somebody, or somebody blends in with the environment, or is really small, like the frog is a tiny guy. He tends to blend in, especially with the grass. If he's a green frog, then it's really easy to lose. Now, when you use your scent, there's nobody on the server with me at the moment, but if you use your scent and there's somebody near, their outline will be blocked out in white. You can tell what they are, you can tell where they are, and you can see their most recent footsteps all around you. So yeah, it's similar to how it works, say, in Shelter 2, where the bunny and deer bodies will be red when Mama Lynx uses her scent feature. The shift key is kind of a standard run, but if you press the F key, it's an auto walk. So right now I have no hands on my keyboard. And if you press R, it's an auto run. Once more, right now I have no hands on my keyboard. and right now I'm just using the A and the D keys to move left and right. Now, there are space bars to jump. It's rather typical of many games. But if you happen to be able to play the eagle, then you have a couple of extra keys that you can work with. You can work with the Q and the E key. Now the Q is for ascending and the E is for descending, because you have that extra air space that you can use, rather than just moving forward and backwards, which, by the way, the eagle cannot move backwards. You can move up and down, you know. So the M key on your keyboard, or on the bottom right hand corner, the very right hand circle, the one that's a little bigger right now, if you click that or click M, you will see more or less a lack of a map. Now, unlike Shelter 2, where you slowly map things in as you discover them, or as you go about the map, this has no such feature, at least yet. As you can see, I have actually discovered the entire map, and the only thing is this tree or mountain-like thing that was right above me. So that's like the main tree, or like the den. It's probably the best place to meet people if you want to roam with a friend, or if you're just starting out as a new animal. You're a new player, you're just logging into the game for the first time, you're gonna spawn at the tree, at least by default. And the reason why it's a good place to meet people is that using the back to tree will actually teleport you to this giant tree. Right there. And as you can see, it's about the only marker on the map. So if you're meeting people, chances are you're going to be going to that map, or to that tree. Now, for the map, if there are other people in the server with you, as you can see when I hit it, it says there are no other animals around. That means I'm alone in the server right now. If there are other people on the server, they'll show up as diamonds in the direction that they are. And the diamond will be either gray and smaller, or white, depending on their distance from you. Now, you won't be able to see them, if you look around like this, if they're far away from you, but you can walk around while this is up, and it will disappear after a couple of seconds. But it's relatively easy to get around and get yourself from one place to another. It is a big map, so it might take a little while, but once you know your way around, once you know the cave areas, if you can look at a hill or a mountain in the background and say, okay, where I want to be is the other direction, or it's towards this, then it's easy to actually get around. And one of the aspects of this game, or one of the mechanics of this game, actually allows you to see the other people that you're playing with, their names, and by pressing the Control Alt, or on my laptop, it's an Alt car button, which is right to the right of the spacebar. It'll make a name bar pop up over top of the person who is around you, or people who are around you, so you can see their Steam names. It can come in handy if you happen to just want to know who you're playing with, or if you're looking for a friend and you see a couple of people with the same, kitties or the same little badgers. You can ask, oh yeah, which one are you? Or you can hit Alt car and you can see their name right there. You can turn your name off in the settings if you want to go a little incognito, but personally I don't really care if people know if I'm playing or not, or what I'm playing as. So, in the game, as you can imagine, or gather from the previews, you can unlock things. You can unlock skins, you can unlock emotes, and you can unlock other animals. And you gain this by gathering different crystals or bricks, however you want to call them, from around the world. Most of these can be found laying on the ground, however there are other ways that you can get some of them that I will go into a little later. So by pressing C, or going in, or not C, can't remember the key now, but by pressing the left circle down at the bottom right hand corner, you come to the collection screen, and as you can see, I have nothing at the moment. I'm starting fresh, so I have no emotes, no new skins, and no animals. So the 3 animals that you can get are the frog, the rabbit, and the goat. And as you can see, next to the say the emote here, there's a little red diamond. Next to the skin there's a blue one, and next to the animal there is a gold or yellow one. And these coincide with what colors of crystals you need to get to unlock each one. The pink one, or the emotes, you need a pink crystal. For skins you need blue, and for animals you need gold. And if I remember correctly, so as I have seen here, just happened to be traveling around, this is an example of the pink crystal, or the one that gives you the emotes. Now I call them crystals as opposed to bricks because they look more crystalline, but if you walk up to it, you collect it, and if you go down, there, I have 1 piece of the emote out of 4. Now if I come across a blue one, I'll show you the blues. But if you unlock a skin in the middle of gameplay, you actually get the option to wear it, like, immediately, instead of having to go back to your den to choose the animal again and then come back to it. So that's also a plus. Now, you can get all of them by, as I said before, finding them on the ground. However, the gold bricks, which are needed to unlock the animals, they are rare to find on the ground. The best way, the most reliable way that you can get both the blues and, more importantly, the golds is by breaking obelisks, which are the black stones you might see jutting out of the ground. And I'll get to them in just a second. So the next thing I'd like to explain is essences. So essence in this game is the points, so that'll get you onto the leaderboards. The main source of essence is likely to be the different types of flowers that you can find on the land. And there are 3 different point value types of flowers. There are common ones, those are worth 5 points. There are rare ones, those are worth 10 points. And then there are fabled ones. Now those are really rare, but those are worth 50 or more points. I'll put a link into the description for my friend's flower guide. She mapped out all of the flowers that Meadow has to offer and put down all the essence points that they're worth. So if you have any questions about that, definitely go check that out. It's a major help. But the pink crystals are also worth 10 points, the blues are worth 20, and the golds are worth 40. So it's still worth it to go hunting for them if you're looking for that leaderboard status, or if you just want to collect as much as you can. Now this is an example of a flower. Now this is one of the common flowers, but as you can see, it sparkles, and it gives off a little tingly noise. So it's really easy to spot. You shouldn't get it mixed up with all of the non-collectible flowers out there. And if I collect it, there, I have 5 points. An extra 5 points. Here's another one over here. If I run over and collect it, there, another 5 points. So they are relatively, as I said, especially the common flowers are really common. There's another one over here. And you can see the sparkle from a little while away. There's another 5 points. So you can pretty much bounce from flower to flower, just collecting them, and unless you're part of a group that's going after the obelisks, flowers are going to be your main source of... there's another pink shard. Your main source of essence. Now you can usually tell what you gather by the noise it makes. The common flowers kind of make a small pop, if you've noticed. The pink and at least the blue shards give kind of like a wondrous sound. A 10-point flower will give a little more of an uppity tune compared to the pop of the commons. Let's see if I can find an uncommon somewhere here. And then the fable flowers give definitely a more, uppity, almost a cheeky tone to it. See, and as you can see, you don't even really have to pay attention to where you're going if you're looking for this stuff, because especially if you had headphones, you'll be able to hear it. It's the tingly sound is really kind of a real telltale sign. Sometimes they do blend in, kind of I didn't see this flower, but yeah. Alright, so the next thing I would like to explain is the emotes, or the commands. If you have a look down here, I have 5 emotes or commands here. Oh, and here we go. I just unlocked a new one. So that's what happens when you unlock a new emote. It pops up with the one that you have, or the new one that you have. And if you click on the All tab here, you bring up everything that you have at the moment, both the commands here and the emotes. Now you start out with 3 default emotes: happy, sad, and super happy. Now that's usually my greeting to others when I find them, is I will go like super happy, and then hopefully they'll be super happy too. Now, some of these are self-explanatory. The question mark, obviously, if you don't understand something or you're puzzled about something. Even if you want to ask a question, should we go mountain climbing? Should we go in this cave? Should we return to the tree? You just have to put the question mark, and hopefully people will understand. If you happen to see a shard or a treasure, that's when the exclamation point can come in handy. If you see something up ahead, that's when that can go. If you see a treasure, you can go, there's a treasure up ahead, as you're running towards it. So I could have used it for this pink shard over here, if I can get it. And then hopefully, if I had any pack mates with me, they would follow me and they would get it too. Oh, there's another pink shard. As I said, the pink shards are very common. You should have no problem in finding them. Now this is usually used when you come up to, there's an obelisk up here, but when you come up to an obelisk and you can't do it, or you're trying to do something but you can't do it, you simply go like this, and that's saying to other people, yeah, it's a no-go. This one I've seen used for, just a group leader might use it to get a group going if they've been sitting around, or if somebody finally comes to join the group after trying to travel, somebody might go like, let's start moving, right? Or let's move to this, if you have a predestined location. This, if you noticed, is the same symbol as the mother tree over there. I use it primarily to say I'm leaving, because there is no chat box. If you are leaving the game, there's no way to really tell the others. So I'll use that to say I'm returning to the den, which pretty much means I'm leaving. If you're going to switch an animal, if I'm going from baby lynx to mama lynx, then I would use this one. And this can actually be used, is actually a very important feature for the obelisks that I'm going to be explaining a little later. Throughout the world there are various caves. That emote, or that command, merely says there's a cave entrance over here, and should we go splunking, pretty much. Whereas this one is the opposite. I take that as saying, let's go mountain climbing, or up this mountain. This is the obelisk symbol. So if you see an obelisk, you do that, and then you can say, yeah, it's ahead of us, to let people know. And this one is another one that's important for the obelisks, as they require different amounts of people to unlock them. You cannot do it on your own. There are no one-person obelisks, so it's important to team up. And this, once more, with the obelisks, I will be explaining this later, but you have to do something to activate it. You can't just go up and have it signify you're there or something. This red key over here, it's a lie down on command button. So I would use it if I happen to be going AFK. If the door happened to be coming or knocking, or somebody comes to the door, or I'm just running out to go grab a drink, I can kind of like let people know, and then I can just kind of lay down. Before, you had to wait, stay idle for a little bit before laying down, but they added this, which I think is a great way of saying I'll be right back. The next one is fire. Now, fire, it's a really cool thing. Everybody likes fire. But one thing that I have seen this used for very effectively is for leaving trails. If a group is running and somebody falls behind, whether it be by lagging or they get lost, you can set a fire trail, as you can see, and then with any luck, the lost person will be able to follow it. If you have more people, all the more fires. Now the last emote here that you can see, this one is by owning the soundtrack to pause. I have all three games. I have Shelter, I have Shelter 2, I have Pause, and I have the Pause soundtrack. If you do not have the soundtrack, you will not get this little musical emote, and it's just an extra sound for the baby links. And this is what this one in particular sounds like. The other soundtracks give others to other creatures, but yeah, it sounds in pain. I've had that happen in Shelter 2, when obviously a kitten has died. It's not the most pleasant, but it's still kind of neat to have it included in the game. And as you see, as you go about unlocking the pink shards, you will get more personal kind of animal emotes, which are used in, mostly different kinds of ways. Like I said, I greet people with that one. Just shows I'm happy to see other people. Still nobody in the server. Alright, so I am going to head over to... oh, that's not an obelisk. Okay, I found a blue shard. So these are the ones that give out skins, and as you can tell, you can hear their sparkle actually from quite a distance away, and they are quite hard to miss really when you see them, but when you get it, as you can see, I now have a part of a skin. Okay, so what we have up here is an obelisk. So this is a tiny obelisk. I can't see right now, but it is probably a two-person one. Yep. So, as you can see, the obelisk here has 2 diamonds. That means that they are looking for 2 people, any species, to come up and to break it. Now, there are different kinds of obelisks. Some of them are in need of, 2 people, like this one. Some of them need up to 6 people. Now, out of those, some of them might need specific animals, or some of them might need any animal like this. Now, the way you tell is if it needs any animal, it'll have a diamond shape like this. If it needs a specific animal, the animal's kind of constellation outline will be shown, and it's relatively simple to determine what is what. Especially if you played the other shelter games, you've probably seen at least the lynxes. And then bear should be relatively simple, the badgers and all that. Now the obelisks have, as I said earlier, a chance to hold either gold or blue crystals. They're the most reliable way of getting gold ones. So it's important that you team up with others in the game. It is a social game, so you should be doing that anyway, but if you happen to be by yourself, you're not going to be getting any obelisks. Now, to activate it, you need to walk up to it, and you need to left click. You need to make a noise. Now when you did that, as you saw the top etching there, it lit up. And that means it's activated. Now you need somebody else to activate the bottom one, and after everything is glowing, the obelisk will explode, leaving the goods from the inside to be collected by the players. Now there are a couple of commands that are pretty specific to this, being this, as you can see, they're fairly similar. That when you see it in a distance, it says to people, I see an obelisk, let's go get it. This one generally means we need more people, so for me right now, if it was a 3-person obelisk and I had one other person with me, I could say, no, we can't do this one, or we need more people. If it needs a certain animal, say I was a baby lynx and it needs a bear, I could say I'm switching animal and I'm going to switch to bear. By the way, those 2 symbols, that's the left one is the bear, the right one is the rabbit. And then if you find somebody that doesn't know what they're doing, that doesn't entirely know, they're trying to get this thing to light up, they're trying to get it to break, but they don't know exactly what they're doing, you press this, and it's a shout command. So you're telling the other person to make noise. And then you can add your own noises to kind of drive the point home. So that's about it in terms of what to do in Shelter. To get all the animals, you need to actually own the games. So I believe you start out with Baby Badger as default, but don't quote me on that, as I do have all the games already. To get the other badger, so I'm going to say Mama Badger since I do think that Cub Badger is default. Then you need the original Shelter game. To get the Mama Lynx, you need Shelter 2. And to get Baby Lynx here, you need Paws. To get the Baby Bear, you need to own all 3 games. And then you need to unlock the frog, the rabbit, and the goat with the gold crystals. The remaining animal is the eagle. Now the eagle, you need to be on the top 10 leaderboards, or you need to own everything Shelter, which includes the all 3 games. Oh, here's a 10-point flower, by the way. So you need to own all the games, you need to own the soundtracks, and you need to own at least the interactive books. So, like the Lonesome Fog, you need to own that. Don't quote me on it, however, from what I understand, you might need the Meadow soundtrack that's coming out with the game. And there's a new interactive book, Fables from the Den. I'm not sure if that's necessary for the whole kind of complete collection, but I still think it's worth a look out. I mean, they're friggin' adorable little games, or little books. So if you have the spare credits or whatever, I would say give it a look. If Even if you're not going for the eagle's nice. It's very nice if you want to take screenshots. You can scout out obelisks and lead people to them. But it's not for everybody. It's not for, those that really want to go collecting. But yeah, it's a nice. This is a nice, soothing game. It's not stressful, or it shouldn't be stressful. There's no chat, so you're pretty much relying on your emotes and how other people will interpret them. And in my experience, at least as a tester, it's been wonderful. I've met so many wonderful people here, and I cannot wait until I meet a lot more people that just happen to come in after, official release. Because it has just been one of the best experiences that I've had in a I want to say a public game, kind of an MMO starring game. See, this is one of the big ones. This requires 5 random people. So yeah, if you're into these types of games where there's no real goal, or if you're just looking for a game that you can hop on and just do whatever, run around, interact with others, then I think this is the game for you. If you're looking for a more hardcore game, or something like the previous Shelter games, this is not for you. This is definitely something that needs to be experienced, I think. But if you're looking for something, PvP, or even right now, hunting other creatures, even AI, then it's not for you. Perhaps at a later date, if they ever add things to it. But as it stands right now, I would say move on. Perhaps go play some Shelter. And just right before I leave off, this is a ball. You can push it around. So get out there, go make some soccer games, and may the best team win. Alright, hope you enjoy, anybody that decides to try this game out. If not, I hope you enjoy at least the other Shelter games. And yeah, I'll see you all later. Okay, have a nice day. Bye!